So talking about how to use your infrared sauna to get the optimal results. This is really a response for Heather and the other people that posted in the Facebook group, the Certified Sauna Community. This is going on YouTube, but it's really from the Facebook group. So Heather, I just want to make sure that you're using the sauna correctly. And everyone else that chimed in, thank you very much for your recommendations. Also want this to be a reminder in this answer to her question for everyone else to understand what thermostat cycling is, right? So you see these big black heaters behind me in this sauna. When you're, I want to make sure that everybody knows, when you set a specific temperature on the actual control panel, like right now my sauna is set to 150 or 149, whatever it is. It's currently at 130 degrees. So the thermostat itself has a headroom of 20 degrees, right? I can control the temperature in here by cracking the door. So if I get overheated, if I get overstimulated or too hot and I need a quick break or some fresh air or something like that, rather than turning the temperature down on the control panel, I may crack the door unless I just want a lower temperature session altogether. But Heather, for you and other people who are either having a not so great experience, having trouble sweating, there's a bunch of reasons for that. You know, number one, you could just be dehydrated like other group members suggested. You could also have, vitamin mineral deficiencies or imbalances. You could have, some type of issue where you just don't sweat easily. But if it's not an area of concern in other parts of your life, like if you exercise and you sweat just fine, I don't think it's that. What I want to point out though is I want to make absolute certain that you and everyone else understands that the thermostat cycling will shut the heaters off if the sauna is set to a low enough temperature. And you can sit in here for if you're in a good sauna that preheats really fast, it'll hit the thermostat threshold so many times, half the time that you're in the sauna, the heaters will be off, right? And you need the radiant heat in order to, be sweating profusely like that. And so I think a lot of people, unbeknownst to them, that it's not their fault. They just don't know. I think they're ruining their sauna sessions because they're running the sauna control panel at too low of a temperature. So I'll give you an example. Right now, my sauna has 16 minutes left on the clock. I preheated it for, I don't know how many, maybe it's been on for like 35 minutes if I had to guess. It's not a full hour. It's at 130 degrees, right? But I have the thermostat set to 150. If I were to lower the setting on the screen to only like 128 or 125 or 135 or whatever, 130, it's going to maintain this temperature too well in this particular environment, right? I'm in Florida right now. The ambient temperature here is pretty warm. So the sauna is not fighting against anything, number one. Number two, there's enough infrared heater coverage in this particular type of sauna layout to where the sauna doesn't struggle to maintain temperature at all, right? So what that means is in a very short amount of time, it can raise the temperature 5-10 degrees like that. When that happens, if the thermostat, I'm calling it the thermostat, but I'm going to use these words so that it doesn't confuse anyone. When you set the control panel to a specified temperature that's not the max temperature, the sauna is not going to struggle or take very long at all in order to achieve that. Once it achieves that, the thermostat detects it, cycles the heaters off so it doesn't get any hotter than you want, and then it waits. Each model is different. Each brand, I should say, is different on how long that cycling is. You can hear the relay click in some of the saunas, other ones you can't. But when you hear that relay click, it's cutting power to the saunas. So you're no longer receiving continuous radiant heat from the sauna or from the heaters. And that's what you want. That's what's making you sweat, even if it's at a low temperature. So another way to do it, I talk about it in the live stream session recommendations all the time, but I don't sit here and break down what's actually happening. So you can create your own thermostat by either cracking the door, using a roof vent, or something like that, and let the sauna run at its highest temperature. And when it gets to be too much for you, just open the door a little bit, right? We're talking a half an inch, 1 inch. Wait, watch the temperature drop, 1 degree, 2 degrees, something like that, and then close the door. It didn't happen that fast, right? But I'm just using this as an example. I don't want to ruin my session because the sauna isn't quite where I like it. I like it to be like 133 and up. I find that that's an adequate temperature in this particular sauna brand that has adequate far infrared coverage based on the heater layout. It also has a bench heater underneath the seat. So I want that to be on all the time because it's helping my body hold core temperature, right? When the heat is coming up from the bench and I'm surrounded by far infrared that's on all the time, it doesn't have to be super hot, but I'm receiving radiant heat from the heaters and my body is wrapped in it. So it can be not performing at a super high temperature, but my body is subjected to being surrounded by the heat, and I'm getting I don't know if you can even see me because I don't have camera lights on or anything like that. It looks like I'm just glistening, but I'm not. I mean, there's sweat just dripping down my back, off my arms, elbows, underneath my sides, my legs, everything, right? And so you can manually control the temperature in any sauna by controlling the airflow and allowing the heaters to stay on 100% of the time so that your body is receiving all of the heat all of the time, right? That's what I would recommend if you're having trouble dialing in your infrared sauna, if you're having trouble figuring out what, what's the right temperature for you. And as always, low and slow. If you're dehydrated, if you have any type of health condition, you don't need to sauna every day when you're just starting out. You want to let your body have time to become heat adapted. You want to sauna at least every other day, if not taking 2 days breaks in between if it wipes you out. It just means that, you're overdoing it. And so I say this analogy all the time, but if you hadn't worked out in 5 years and you planned on doing a marathon or an Ironman or something like that, and you started training, do you think it would take a little while for your body to get back into the swing of things? It's no different with this. So if you're having trouble, it's totally normal, right? I couldn't do hour-long sessions when I first started this, but it did give me the ability to get detox capability and heat therapy, unlike a traditional sauna where I was really struggling and I had a hard time to stay in for any length of time to get a solid sweat going without breathing super heavy. You want to be high zone 1, low zone 2, and you want to be comfortable to where your nervous system is not tired the next day. Meaning, if you've ever experienced going to the gym and doing like a heavy max rep or a max weight squat workout or something that's full body taxing, and you wake up the next day, you slept well and everything, but your nervous system is just zonked. You're just tired. Some people get like that when they first start using sauna and they're doing too much. They're either doing it too hot, staying in too long, or it's too many times per week for them and they're not adjusted to it. They don't allow themselves to get, the accumulation. And so you got to do that. And I would recommend running the sauna so that the heaters stay on all the time. My sauna now is still in the 130s. It hasn't climbed to the 140s yet since the video has started. I'm trying to drag this out. So it's been 8 minutes, but you can see that there's no shortage of me sweating, even though the temperature isn't significantly hotter. Why is that? It's because the sauna heats up slowly, but my body is receiving radiant heat the entire time. If I were to lower the temperature, it'll stop that from happening. So rather than do that, I just crack the door, give myself a little fresh air, let the camera not overheat. And I would suggest you do something similar, or at least try it. Understand that there's another way that you can do your sessions and it might be more effective for you.